New at noon, the NOPD chief Ann Kirkpatrick calls Carnival 2026 a success. The chief says officers removed guns and drugs from the parade routes. Chris Welty joins us with more on some of those arrests. Chris.
Liz, during the 10-day carnival period, the NOPD says their department alone made 185 arrests along the parade route for various violations. In all, 18 guns were removed. The chief says specialized units intercepted who she calls bad actors along the route. One unit focused efforts on St. Charles Avenue between Calliope and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. That unit made 11 gun arrests, and Kirkpatrick says 2 of those guns were stolen. On Mardi Gras, NOPD officers stopped a potentially deadly incident.
In that situation, in their interception, they were able to seize 10 firearms, including rifles, along with switches, which convert the firearms into fully automatic machine gun type weapons. They also confiscated narcotics as well as cash.
Kirkpatrick did not share more details on that incident, citing an open investigation. The chief praises the help state and federal agents provided during Carnival. Kirkpatrick says during Carnival, someone abandoned a backpack near a National Guard checkpoint in the French Quarter. Kirkpatrick says a weapon and a drum magazine were found inside the bag. She believes the National Guard presence prompted the individual to ditch their bag. Kirkpatrick says prior to Mardi Gras, the FBI conducted a 3-week roundup of the city's most violent offenders. The chief says the FBI arrested 175 people before they could make it to the parade route. Liz.